Welcome back, friends. This is part 2 of the PowerShell introduction series. We have already seen how to create and access variables in PowerShell. We create a variable using the dollar symbol followed by the word or the variable name. In this today's session, we'll have a look at more complex variables which PowerShell supports. We'll start off with arrays. We shall learn by going to the demo right away. We create a variable of arrays by using $array is equal to by the values separated by commas. For example, if we are creating numbers 1, 2, 3. And now if you display to display the value of the array, simply type the variable name. If you want to add an element to the array, you just merely type array plus equal to 4. Now if you view the contents of the array, 4 is added. Now, if you want to create an empty array, all you have to do is $a is equal to at the rate of open parenthesis and close parenthesis. If you add an element, let's add an element of 1 to 10. For that, you use 1 space dot 10. Now, if you look at the value of a 1 to 10 has been created without you going and typing manually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you want to create a variable of a specific data type, this is how you would type int $b is equal to 1. Now similarly, if you want to create an array of integers, all you have to do is int open and close square brackets $c is equal to 1, 7, 8, 9. Now if you look at the contents of $c, that is it. Let's try to create a variable of 2D array. For the first row, let's add 1, 2, 3. To access the first row, all you have to do is put $c of 0 plus is equal to 1, 2, 3. To add to the second row, what we would do is, now let's display the first row of the array. First row, you have to use the index 0. Since an array was already created, there's a problem. Let's try again first. And before that, you need to access the elements of the array by using the square bracket and entering the row number. If you are accessing the first element, you have to use 0. If you are accessing the second element, you have to use 1. Now the array contains 1, 2, 3, 4, and the first element is 1, which you access by $array of 0. Let's create a 2D array again. Array 2D is equal to now if you print the contents, it shows in a linear way. Suppose you want to print in the multi-dimensional format, all you have to do is pipe it and just use this command. We will discuss this piping later, but in case you want to display in 2D, this is how you need to do. PowerShell also supports mixed array data types. So all you have to do is, for example, you can store numbers, even strings, even functions. These are called polymorphic arrays. Now if you display the contents of mixed, so all different data types are stored. So we have seen how PowerShell supports arrays. Arrays are nothing but variables that hold more than one value. To create an array, you separate values by commas. And to find the date, an ipconfig is a command in PowerShell which actually is a system.array data type. To create an array, this is the format $a is equal to 1, 2, 3. If you want to store numbers without typing, you can use the two dot symbols. To create a mixed array, you can happily create them separated by commas. To create an empty array, all you have to do is at the rate followed by open and close parentheses. If you want to create an array with one value, you can just use comma 1. To access the first row of an array, you have to use $a of 0. If you want to access different elements in the array, you can use them putting in the square brackets. If you want to access the second and the fourth element, you would use 1, 3. To create a 2D array, you would have to pass in the square brackets. If a specific data type means, for example, int, it will be int with two square brackets, $array is equal to 1, 2, 3, comma, then 4, 5, 6. To add elements, you merely do $a plus is equal to 5. Next, we'll have a look at hash values, hash tables, which are nothing but key value pairs. Suppose you want to store the fruits. So in this example, the array problem is you need to know the numbers. For example, you need to know which index. In a hash table, if you want to view the item, for example, array of row number you can give, or for example, instead of accessing fruit color pair of 0, you can use fruit color of orange and access the orange. We have a fruit color pair which is telling the fruit name orange, the color is orange, and for fruit name apple, the color is red. To access the fruit color pair of orange, you just have to pass the name of the fruit. Let's do the demo now. $of fruit pair, fruit color pair is equal to, start off with the at the rate symbol, put them in curly braces, then type the orange. Let's type for orange. Orange is equal to, the color is orange. Next, let's think of the fruit. We put a semicolon. For apple, the color is red or green. Now if you enter and let's try to access the fruit color pair of apple. The apple color is red. If you want, let's try accessing by the numbers. Okay. In hash value, you need to pass the name. For example, for orange, you have to give orange. So this is a key value pair. You have to start off with at the rate symbol and store the name followed by the value, or the key here is orange and value is orange. The key here is apple and the value is red. Let's go to the next enum data. Enum and structures are special data types where you can predefine the values. For example, getDate.day of the week is a system.enum data type. What is the value? What are the values? It can be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and all the days of the week. And if you want to know the values supported by enum, all you have to do is system.enum followed by get names of system.day of week or get values of the data type system.consoleColor. To create a enum in version 5, it's very easy. All you have to do is enum followed by coordinates and you give the values. For example, you want to create XYZ coordinates with 0, 1, 2. You can happily use enum followed by the variable name and in the curly braces, you give the value, key values. And you can access the enum value as we had told before by using system.enum.getNames or getValues or by coordinates of the particular value. And if you're working in the older version of PowerShell, all you have to do is add type hyphen type definition within public enum xy or public struct xy for structure, and within that you give the public data type followed by the variable name semicolon public data type variable name. And to access the new object, all you do is $xy is equal to new object of the xy and $xy.x equal to $xy.y is equal to. We'll understand this more with the example now. So since this is, let's try get date dot day of week and store that in a variable. Now if you look at the day of week dot get type defines the data type that is of type system enum. If you want to look at all the values, as we said, one way is system.enum. Use get names of system.day of week. Another way is to you pass the get values. So both of them give the same values. If you want to view the system, next we'll move on to creating a enum data type. One way in PowerShell version 5, this is very easy. You just type enum followed by the value name. For example, let's try coordinates, and then we give the value x equal to 0 and y is equal to 1, 4, and then we close it. Let's open an ISE and go ahead from there. So in ISE, you can give Control J and it lists all the various commands which are useful. Let's see if the enum is available. Okay, enum is not available. That's fine. We'll try the coordinates. X equal to 1, y equal to 2. And let's run this. Let's go ahead with the older version where the normal way is to, in older versions of PowerShell using the add type, you use add type hyphen type name type definition, and you give the name and you give public enum color. Let's give a name xy itself, xy 0, 1. I'm sorry, for enum we always need to give the string values because by default enum stores the integer corresponding values. For example, here we are creating an enum data type color storing red, green, blue. And to access the color variables, all you can just put that in square brackets, and you can access the value. This is one way. And to get the values as told before, all you have to do is red, green, blue. Let's try the add type definition of the older one, xy. We can just give some value 1, 2. And now let's see if this runs. Yes. And if you just type the value for xy, it would return 1, 2. Let's go ahead to the structure. For structure, it's similar to the way we created add type hyphen type definition. Instead of enum, you give public struct xy underscore struct, and then you declare the variable as public int x, public int y. So structures are very useful for storing a collection of data together in a meaningful way. Suppose you have a car, instead of creating a class, you can use structure. This in the newer version of version 5, the class is supported. So that is a better way if you want it. To declare a class in PowerShell version 5, just press Ctrl J and you have all a simple class declaration. So this is a simple class called type name, and if you see, it is very similar to other programming languages where you can create a static property, and it also contains constructors and methods where you can update the properties. So if you run, let's try to create a simple class of let's just try to run this example. And now if you have type, let's try to access the type name. To quote another example, we create a class car with name and color, and we then create a new BMW object to access the property